King, give them shit again. Give them shit again. Give them shit
Hey, I don't got a shoot, I got shooters. I know I'm cooler than the cooler. I know this way you keep your alcohol. Cheers. I know that about it, I'm about to ball. All of my niggas is savages. Mean up the opponents with scavengers. I know that imply I got passengers. I love Jesus Christ and Bible passages. My girl so fly, she have a Merlin. She love the majesty like Merlin. And the boss like a Laker, Irvin. Should've kept it clean like this detergent. Shit, I done let the cat up out the bag. I get naked and let the dick out the sack. Let it breathe, get some air. Baby, please, I'm already there. Jacket and creamery everywhere. I represent me, it's a love affair. Smelling the trees, it's a buzzing here. Carry down with the team if you want prepared. Hey, this is my style. I do with it, get some attention. Hey, the crowd going wild, so I guess I'ma keep on spitting. Nigga, I borrowed your style, but you won't get no honorable mention. I'm rocking it better than you. I'm making retire no pension. I just get the bread like a fool. Apply sandwich bread and make it smooth. My movement gon' move, that's the move. The only option not to lose. Hey, never been scared, you ain't prepared. I ain't sorry. Your breezy clearly walked the ass over here. I ain't sorry. Mad cause you think I ran out with your bitch. I ain't sorry. You're tripping cause you think I stole your career. I ain't sorry. Hey, you ain't feeling me, no apologies. I ain't sorry. Hey, sorry not sorry. Hey, I ain't sorry. I don't even feel that bad, my nigga. I ain't sorry. Give no fucks about your ass, my nigga. I ain't sorry. You got options, nigga, choose. Keep it popping like a tool. Or your bitch pussy hole in the cool.
Ooh. Yo, super shout out to my man, Rajid the Black Bishop. Shout out to Jim Bonus Beats in the Streets off top. Hey, two things I'm going to tell you. One, you can see Rajim right now. Well, not right now. This weekend, in your imminent future, you can see him with Lady X and all the super homies. All the super homies in one place, holding it down with Lady X and the Hillsboro fam. That's at Mystery Bar tomorrow night. I don't think I'm going to be there, though. I love all my people, but I'd rather put my people on a yacht. I'd rather put my people on a yacht. And then the other thing is, if you're an interesting person, holler at Jimbo because he's got a new show and he'll probably like to interview you for it. I said that like I was Joe Biden. He'd like to interview you for it. Yo, I ain't mad at Joe Biden for talking like that. Obviously, I talk like that. I tell you guys, when I make fun of Joe Biden for talking like that, it's just because I'm making fun of Joe Biden for talking like that. Not that I necessarily actually have a problem with Joe Biden talking like that. It's just something fun to do. Okay, look, let me run off some of the people that helped make this show possible. Besides who? Me. Hey, look. I'm wearing the same sweatshirt in this promo. Boosh. Oh, no, never mind. That's a T-shirt. Look, that's how you know I'm not that smart. I don't know the difference between a T-shirt and a regular shirt. But you should be watching this on urbansurvivorman.com. I thought the website was busted, but guess who fixed it? Me. What's funny is I was about to blame. I got a developer right now inside my website, right? And I gave him admin permission just yesterday. And then today I encountered a website problem that was completely my own fault, but it made me act like I was my mom when my kid uses her computer. Like, I don't know what happened. You used my computer and now all these things are popping up. Like, lady, you play Zynga poker. You can't blame somebody born after the year 1990 for breaking your computer if you play Zynga poker. Hey, holla if you feel me. Yo, get in your comment real quick. 3 more minutes for the early bird club. If I see you up in there, I'll shout you out. Maximum respect to all my people, even if I don't shout you out. Yo, maximum respect to the 5XL Live TV and radio FM, satellite radio on your Roku device, everywhere. The 5XL TV Live. Just wait till you see what they. I say that a lot. Just wait, but every time it's something good. And go to standupandfightback.bigcartel.com, standupandfightback.bigcartel.com, and use the promo code Coffee and Bong Hits, and you'll get how much we pay for shipping to Kembe Mutombo. Damn straight. We're talking zilchies. Nada. Yo, don't forget about the Kudoken. Holy shit, man. I wonder if Leonardo da Vinci had to work as hard to do all his Leonardo da Vinci shit as me and Dirty have to work on getting the Kudoken proper. Hey, speaking of Dirty, don't forget there's new episodes of Unblocked. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go find that shit. And flipping back to the Kudoken will be at the 2021 Las Vegas Cannabis Awards with airdrops and coins in the VIP bags, right? So like if you show up and you're in the VIP bag, or you get a VIP bag, you guess what I'm talking about? When you go to a place, they give you like a little gift bag of just different cool shit from their partners. So anyways, yeah, if you're a very important person in the Las Vegas cannabis scene, you're going to be messing with Kudoken soon. And man, wouldn't that be cool if I got this announcement while the show is still on? I think half of the reason that I am feeling so much tremendous pressure in my life right now is because I'm keeping so many things under my hat, right? Remember, the slogan for 2021, my New Year's resolution, was undersell, over-deliver, right? Like I usually do a pretty good job of cashing a check with my ass that I wrote with my mouth, but we're really trying to have people shocked this year instead of going, oh man, the 2-person dunk tank has brown water in it. Like, bro, who else do you know that even has a 2-person dunk tank at their event? And yes, the water was brown, but it was rust, not doo-doo. Yo, shout out to anybody who was at that Food Wars. All right, let's see who's up in the squad this morning. Usual suspects. Fenda's in the house. Number 1 with a gun. Marty came to party. Jesse Black was in the house. Erica's in the house. Yo, where's Corey Casburn? Hopefully Corey Casburn's on the lay low because he's working on a secret project. I can't even tell you guys about that one either. That's not even one of the ones I'm stressing on because I was able to delegate that shit. Anyways, nobody cares. It is 10 minutes after 10. And this is when I let you guys know that I feel your pain because with this weather and you want to go in the water and you want to go out of the water and you don't want your feet to smell like river shoes that you have to put on the porch. But then you're like, well, maybe I'll just wear them to Target. And then blam, next thing you know, you're at the mall and then somebody's like, what the fuck is that smell? And then the guy to the left of you looks to the right, and the guy to the right of you looks to the left. Anyways, I got your solution. Fake Croc brand, fake Crocs. You see that little trademark behind the logo right there? Fake Croc brand, fake Crocs. Because they'll break long before you ever get a chance to fall in love with them wearing with long pants or whatever. But it's a great alternative to the stinky porch river shoes. Remember, get real fake Croc brand fake Crocs, not fake Croc brand fake Crocs. Keeping it moving. If you see me smoking pot on this show, which happens quite a bit, especially today, fuck, I'm ripped. But I can always get ripped or no coughing. I broke one of the two sacred rules. Holy smokes, yo! Shout out to the dispensary that isn't giving me any money, so I'm not mentioning them. But mostly, for real, mostly shout out to this lighter. This lighter's been the MVP all week long. Somehow over the weekend, I lost my reliable Bic. And I just had this super, super emergency one. And cat-like reflexes. Black Panther, cat. And that lighter held it down. Every day I was like, is this going to be the day? Is this going to be the effing day that you die? And then the Titanic music would start playing, and I'd be like, don't die. Don't die. And then the lighter would be like, let me on the door. And I'd be like, new door, who this? Remember that lady wouldn't let the dude on the door? Yo, I only seen the Titanic one time, but I just remember thinking, man, I bet y'all both could float on that door. Okay, look, this is what we're going to talk about today. I don't have no guests. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Mercury retrograde. I said that like Joe Biden. Mercury retrograde. I got to know. Everybody's talking about Mercury retrograde again. And I'm not saying I don't believe it. I believe it, right? I believe that a gigantic freaking planet far the fuck away on the other side of the sun does affect us in some capacity. But here's the thing. So does the wind. So I need to know, is Mercury retrograde more powerful than the wind? And I know you're like, Jesse, that's subjective. How could you quantify something that you can hardly qualify? Who can measure the wind? And then I'm like, meteorologists can measure the wind. So I would like to know on the spectrum between zero wind and a hurricane, how much influence does Mercury retrograde have on your life? Because I know the wind is blowing my head off. Mercury retrograde never really blown my head off. But they do say that Mercury retrograde will mess with your electronics. And I usually attribute that to being dumb, but now I can attribute it to Mercury retrograde. And I also never seen Mercury retrograde every roof in a community. So let's just figure out where we're at. Don't get mad at me, astrologers. Don't start erasing my birthday. Rewriting some shit, making me a goddamn. Man, I ain't going to start stinging. Any one of the other 11 are all weak to me. I'm not going to isolate one of you guys because I don't need to do that. Scorpios don't have to punch down. We can group all 11 of you together and still crush you. That's what Thoth the Atlantean told Hermes Trismegistus. He said, fuck with them Scorpios. Okay, look, so the other thing I want to talk about today, holy shit. I can't, man. So when I scribble these writings and then my pen goes in and out, I just pick up little dots and dashes and I feel like I'm reading some ancient cave writing from like, oh, y'all down with cave writing? We should just do a show on cave writing one of these days. I can't think of what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Hey, but are y'all hip to Damon T. Berry? Hey, I'll fuck around and turn this whole show into an episode of Ancient Aliens. I can make my hair probably do that shit right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, tomorrow is supposed to be Juneteenth. My man Jello said on the internet that man, here's the weird thing about talking about something like slavery on a show like this is this show is meant to be lighthearted, and this show is not meant to weigh people down with the realities, right? And I try to practice detachment and just report the news in a whimsical fashion that makes everybody more accepting to receiving the news, right? So for me to talk about something like slavery, I have to be especially deliberate and particular about my exact. I don't care about the words, right? But I have to make sure that I don't giggle, I don't smile. Now, you know what? See, I almost just used this moment to tell you how it affected me personally. Right? I was almost like slavery was bad, but then one time I did this one thing and then slavery became really bad. That's the kind of shit I'm telling you I had to be careful about, right? You know, they used to steal people's babies. They used to steal their babies and sell them. And it wasn't really that long ago either. It really wasn't that long ago. But the conversation that I want to have is about Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer wearing those crazy African clothes and looking like Eddie Murphy in Arsenio Hall and Coming to America. And then you're like, could that be any more pandering? Could that be any more Democrat, right? That's like exactly what people are mad about the Democrats for. Why does everybody have to be some freaking purposely missing the point person? Yo, look, money talks and bullshit walks. A holiday is cool for Hallmark, but the poor people probably won't even get the day off, right? These corporate people that still exist within the dominant paradigm. They'll get another day off, right? Like I bet if you do the math, those aren't laughs, those are exasperations, right? I'm exasperated. I have to guffaw. The air has to go out somewhere. That's just what it sounds like. I'm not laughing. If you did the math on how many, if you did the math on who gets more days off for Juneteenth, I'm certain it's probably going to be white people because they're in more positions and more roles that get days off. That's okay. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about two parts. Money or society, right? Those are my two parts. I'm not picking my words. I'm trying to pick which one is tossing the ball up and which one is hitting the ball. So, okay, first let me just get this out the way. If you're uncomfortable with this conversation, or if you view reparations or June 13th as something that you're not a part of, I'm not feeling that at all. It's not a black holiday. It's really hard not to center myself on a show that I'm supposed to be giving my perspective. But when you grow up on the West Coast, you're not really exposed to a lot of the reminders of slavery, right? You get a chapter, 2 chapters in school every year, and you get maybe they break out the movie projector. But that's why Portland and this area is like that, right? Because it grew away from that. And I don't think I need to remind anybody about Oregon's exclusion laws, right? And their anti-black founding. And that didn't change until they were forced to because there was just a demand for labor. That's the only reason that it ever even began to change was because of a demand for labor. Okay, so let me just tell you this, man. I went to the confluence. Anybody knows anything about me knows confluences are my favorite things, right? That's what I do. I go to confluences. And so I went to the confluence of the Kansas River and the Missouri River. And Missouri was a slave state. And then on the other side of the Kansas River was Kansas. And so at that junction of the Kansas River, on the other side was a city whose name suddenly escapes me, but it was built by abolitionists. The entire city was built by abolitionists who came from the East Coast to build a stop on the Underground Railroad. So I would speed up the story because I think it's taking too long right now. Not that it doesn't deserve my grace and deliverance. Prefix, suffix, it's a word. Ding, 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 ding. So a slave who was never taught to swim and who was raised to be afraid of water would have to figure out how to cross the Kansas River because on one side of the Kansas River was freedom, unless a bounty hunter followed you and caught you and brought you back. But you had to look at this river that was like the width of maybe the Willamette River. And you didn't know how to swim. And you were terrified of it. And on the other side of that river was freedom. And on this side of the river was Missouri with cotton and tobacco and sugar and wheat. And this whole world and this whole industries. I mean, think what cotton has done. Think how this country was founded on tobacco. I like to flex on my community college education, but the whole reason for even needing slaves was because they introduced that new sweeter tobacco into the market, right? It's actually Pocahontas's husband. If you wanna start name dropping, right? What was his name? What was his name? It's like Ralph. I think it was John Wolfe. Ralph. I don't know. This isn't how much can Jesse remember from an education he still hasn't paid for. And just over your shoulder when you're looking at that spot is Westport, where they actually still have the courtyard where they would auction other human beings off. Look, it's the bottom of the hour right now. I'm sorry to get kind of heavy, but this country needs to make amends. This country has a lot of amends to make, man. With the indigenous First Nation people of this country who they systematically destroyed and stole their land. The people of Hawaii and Puerto Rico and everything that we did south of us to Central America and the CIA and the covert drug wars and funding the Sandinistas and the Contras and sending that money over to freaking Middle East while we're dropping bombs on people from drones. Like, yo, motherfucker, you want another holiday? I mean, Juneteenth is Juneteenth. And I think that's a nice gesture. But if it's all by itself, it's merely a gesture, man. Making something a federal holiday. I mean, how could you not? How could you not? How could you not? But it's as sincere in the face of a culture of unprosecuted murderers collecting taxpayer money. It's a really hollow looking gesture. Okay, look, it's the bottom of the hour. If you listen to this in the podcast device on a podcast platform, thank you so much for doing it. India, Canada, Australia, France. Sorry, France. Sorry to say it. You don't really talk like that. Let's go real quick to Red Panda so we can stay on schedule. Thank you. This is Coffee and Bonghits. I'm Jesse Spammer. I will be right back. Yo. Okay, it is the bottom of the hour, and we're going to have a conversation about reparations. But first, I got to read the comments. Josh Thompson, I see you, man. Sorry, I've been turning off the look. So you're in the Facebook room, so you'll probably be all alone. Yo, Logan, what's up? G, I see you too. Hey, you guys should go through the website so you can be part of the chat, because if you're on Facebook, I don't always see you. What's up, Aaron Bones Jones? Fenda. This is a good reminder to you guys to check out 2 shows. One is What the F is Ladylike, and you're on your podcast device. And the other one is Dying on the Inside with Josh Larson. Sorry, I'm 4 thoughts ahead already. I'm trying to produce. I don't have a teleprompter. Hold on. See, Josh, go to urbansurvivorman.com. Boom. That should work. But I'll also put the banner up right here. Boom. We'll run this little ticker for a minute. urbansurvivorman.com will get you into the website, into the world, and then we just bounce it back to Facebook. So a lot of times I miss the comments. Plus, I'm trying to look at the comment section less these days, so that way I don't lose my focus, because I want to give full attention to other people's thoughts, because it's respectful, but I also have to keep mine moving in a progressively linear fashion, right? More phrases like progressive linear fashion and less ums makes for a better show, I assure you. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I still can't remember the name of. You know what we should do, you guys? Hold on. Watch this. Watch what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do. Nelly. I'm going to call Nelly. And then I'm going to share the screen. Well, it didn't stop. It's still ringing, and I don't know how to stop it. Oh my gosh, she's so busy. This is bad. This is a bad look for the show. I thought it was going to be a cool look. That was just harassing a woman. I don't know what's going on. Wow, that was crazy. Sorry. Oh, I can't remember the name of that town. Anyways, look, let's keep to the point. There is a whole lot of companies that made a fuck ton of money during that time. And I guarantee you that if a white person who was an heir to one of these fortunes needed to trace back the accounting to get his money, how much of a problem do you think he would have with that? That's a serious question, right? Like, sorry, I'm producing and talking at the same time. If a white heir to that fortune needed to track the accounting of his inheritance that came from his great grandfather or something, I assure you that those companies have ledgers that go all the way back. And those companies have stock interests. And those companies have full accounting that was made available to a multitude of white people at that time. So if you were to go back in there and do the math on how much those people would have been paying at a fair market wage for labor, but we're not talking about punitive damages. We're not talking about just give people free money. We're talking about going into the accounting of a company and figuring out what they would owe their employees. Convert that money into company stock. And then figure out the maturity of the value of that company stock up until today. And then you have a number. And you go to every company, every cigarette company that got its origins off that sweet Haitian tobacco that John Rolfe brought up, that everybody in Europe fell in love with when all the fancy people in Europe were smoking tobacco. That created a giant need for labor, right? Because you have to understand, they didn't just like bring African slaves to America so that they could hang out, right? They were filling a need for labor. So the same as if your boss screwed you over on wages and you went to the Bureau of Labor and Industries, you would have an accounting and you would have ledgers. And we know that slaves worked from before the sun came up until after the sun went down. It's written, it's documented. We know there's actual records of how much they paid for other human beings. So no matter where your heart falls on the punitive damages of entire industries being built off slave labor and stolen babies and rape pregnancies, fast forward where we are right now. There's numbers, man. You can plug that shit into a computer. Okay, look, it's Friday. The other day I talked right through it and I missed Tupac's birthday. And I feel terrible about it. So remember, every day at 10:35, I'm supposed to be playing some dope hip hop for your asses, but I slipped and I messed up. And we're going to rectify that today. So happy late birthday, Pac. And here's a gem that I think might be cool because it appears that he's being introduced by Tom Arnold. So yeah, shout out to Tom Arnold. Hey man, when you're giving it up for the game, when you're going all in, you will make out with Roseanne. Tom Arnold is a legend for that shit. He was like, man, I'm struggling. I will make out with Roseanne Barr if I have to. And then Roseanne was like, what? She heard him. He was like, oh, Rosie. Remember that dude? He was always shaking and saying, Rosie. Rosie. Okay, nobody cares about Tom Arnold except right now. So here's your 2 minutes of fame, Tom Arnold. Let's give it to you. Yes, there he is. I've been known to rock that exact same hairstyle, by the way. Look. Man, you need to get a little better fade going on right there, Tom. The front's okay. All right, yo, shout out to Tupac. Happy late birthday. This is Coffee and Bong Hits. This is 1035, powered by the Kudokan crypto token. It's a whole different ecosystem. This ain't your grandfather's blockchain, boy.
Check you out. My homeboy Moose on this people's New Jersey. Fatal and felonies. Young outlaw immortals. If you do gotta make that dance, here on Death Row here, you know everybody got a chance. Change for the better, you know? I ain't mad at you. Cause I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Now we was once two brothers of the same kind, quick to holler at a hoochie with the same line. You was just a little smaller, but you still roll. Got stretched a while, yeah, hood the hood's full. Remember when you had a cherry girl, didn't quite learn. On the block with your Glock, tripping on serve. Just got the phone call, you got bail. You shoot the push from that. No more dope game. Then I got the phone call, and you got bail. Go to the bar, don't want to chase tail. Used to be my little homie, but you the same, man. You hit the pin and now no sitting is the game plan. When I talk about money, all you see is the struggle. When I take over the Lord, you tell me it's trouble. Look, congratulations on the way. I hope your wife knows she gotta play it for life. And that's some bullshit. I know we grew apart, you probably don't remember. I used to be for your sister, but never did get with her. And I can see us after school, bro. On the first jealous suckers with the bullshit. Now the whole block's name, and you ain't even with. Got a big money scheme, and you ain't down to hit. Knew in my heart you was the same young brother, man. Go toe to toe with the top of hope, you got a brother slap. But I ain't even tripping, cause I'm just laughing. You trying hard to maintain, but go ahead, cause I ain't mad at you. Hell no. Hey, Danny boy, we ain't mad at him. No.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
We used to be like this together, fighting, playing just whole neighborhood buzzing. Knowing that we wasn't used to catch us on the roof or behind the stairs. Getting flicks, reminiscing on all the time we shared. Time smoking and grind, there wasn't nothing on our mind at the time. Learn to live a life of fun. Rewind me back to a place which was too young to know. I could have felt me loving the way that God's love. Even though we separated, you said that you wait. Don't get nobody my love while I be locked up safe. Wipe the tears from my mama's eye. Said I gotta fight the fix the rise. Said I told her
I ain't mad at you.
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 I ain't mad.
Danny boy, hands out, we ain't mad at
I ain't mad.
you. This how we gonna do the last verse. 17-year-old from Chicago. Danny boy, this boy only 17 years old. Feel that?
Danny boy, Danny boy.
West side MOP outlaws. We at.
Blam, yo, that was dope, and not just for the Tom Arnold sighting. Yo, I'm gonna let that reparations conversation marinate for the weekend. Put some thought into it. I mean, I thought about it before, but I feel like I really said everything I could say about it at this point. So happy Juneteenth, everybody. Every single person should take a tiny, tiny bit of ownership on the day that we finally I didn't have shit to do with it. Man, y'all want to go back to just making fun of Mercury retrograde? All right, let me shake it off. I got to compartmentalize, man. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. That's my privilege to do so, but I'm gonna take that conversation. I'm gonna put it in a balloon. I'm gonna let it float. I'm gonna tie the balloon to my wrist. I'm gonna let it sit right here, just outside my space for a minute. So I remember when the president first said the word shithole. He didn't even, okay, nobody even knows if he said it, right? There's no, look, there's no recording of the president saying that those countries were shithole countries, right? There was, let me explain how this works. Because remember, this is the show that watches the news. Like, bro, we watch the news, motherfucker. We watch you, right? We don't watch the news like my parents watch the news, or like people that watch Fox News or CNN just watch the news, right? And they just eat it up and regurgitate it. No, we watch the freaking news. And so I remember when CNN first started saying shithole, it wasn't because the president said shithole. It was because somebody said that the president said S-hole, right? And then like people were like, ooh, that's getting ratings. And then all of a sudden they said shithole. And I was like, oh damn, it's on. It's on. It is so on. They just said shithole. Now here's the thing. It wasn't so much that they said shithole, which is great in itself in a vacuum. That's beautiful. But the fact is that they demonstrated that they were willing to break their existing journalistic credibility to smear the president, right? To push their particular agenda, which is just the opposite of Fox. They were willing to just start saying shithole on the news. I was just tickled. I was Cartman when he got to go to Casa Bonita, right? I was as tickled as myself when I got to go to Casa Bonita. They really have a big-ass waterfall in the middle of a restaurant. It was so dope. Okay, so I was like, well, now if CNN has abandoned their standards of broadcasting integrity and started saying shithole, it's only a matter of time before somebody really wiles out, and eventually it's going to be pick your own word. If I just met you on another planet, this is what I'm trying to convey. It goes from shithole to. All right, so look, I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to guess what word I heard last night on CNN. A bunch. A bunch. Do 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 do. Hey, you were kind of missed, Corey. I brought you up earlier. Okay, I heard the word motherfucker and fucker and fuck you on CNN last night a bunch. They were like newly released footage from the Capitol. And it's all the chuds, right? All the insurrectionists just going, and they're raging on some cops. They're losing their effing minds on these cops, screaming at them, frothing, right? You know, I always have CNN on. One thing you need to know about me, I always have CNN on. If except at night and except in the morning. Like I won't let that shit in my brain when I first wake up. I'll make sure I'm all the fucking way awake. I'll make sure I remember that you guys live in the fish tank and I work at the fish store, right? If you wake up and start listening to the news, as soon as you wake up, blam, you're in the fish tank all day until somebody comes and rescues you. And it might not happen for a while. You might be stuck in the fish tank for a long time. So I don't listen to it in the morning and I don't listen to it at night because They just repeat the same shit at night. If they were giving new news, I still might listen to it at night, but I don't. So I listen to empowering shit. That doesn't matter. Why don't you do your show? I'm doing it. Okay. So they kept saying, motherfucker. Look, I'm doing it. I'm breaking my own F word rule. Hey, church kids, it's out the window today, man. I'm breaking my own rule. Because if CNN could do it, we're just trying to be like the big boys. So, okay. But here is actually the more disturbing word, and you're going to start hearing it a lot. And it's going to start entering your vernacular, and I always give you these gems, right? Whenever they begin to introduce a new word, I grab it, I see it, I recognize the patterns, right? Because when I listen to the news people, I don't even really listen to the words they say, like a rapper, right? Like when I listen to a rapper, I'm envisioning their words to see if they're cascading like a waterfall off the pages, right? Like the lines are just levels of stratigraphy on a page, and I'm just watching it drop and cascade down. So my point is... I swear to God, there is one somewhere, and I'm about to forget it. No, I am. Shit, I've been smoking weed for 2 hours straight. The fact that I can even do this show is remarkable, honestly. So I listened to their patterns, and the new word that they've come up with is whitewashing. And they're using it to refer to all of the politicians that are minimizing the insurrection. But here's the way that the world works. If you can give something a catchy term like that, then it becomes part of the vernacular, and then you get to import your ideology into culture as one of the new buzzwords, right? Because as a society, we are drawn to the use of buzzwords as a credibility lubricant in conversation, right? Like it's naturally assumed by other people if you have the cutting edge words that other people don't know. There's a million. I'm not even going to give any of those buzz phrases credit by mentioning them on my show, but they get tossed around incredibly. People's names, stuff like that. But whitewashing is the new one, so just keep an eyeball on that. Hopefully, reparations will catch fire too. That would be nice, but instead, they just want to give a holiday. Yo, shout out to the birthday card and Christmas card and graduation card, and now Juneteenth industrial complex. Because check this out, I guarantee you that the white people are about to fucking make Juneteenth so corny. They're about to make it so corny. What the federal government did was just take something that was kind of cool, kind of underground, and just exploited it. All right. Now everybody's going to be dressed like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. That's real as fuck, though, right? Do that to everything. Have you ever walked through Northeast Portland or North Portland and noticed how many signs there are that say Black Lives Matter? Okay, imagine if you were walking on the same street in 1990 and an evil witch came up and she said, "Guess what I'm going to do?" And you're like, "What?" She said, "I'm going to turn all the black people into signs about black people." You're like, that would be crazy. Boom, just teleported me to this week. And every black person that used to be in North and Northeast Portland has been turned into a Black Lives Matter sign. It's the craziest Craziest shit. Oh my God. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. I'm going to end this show. I'm going to end this week on a positive note that I didn't think was going to be positive. So the other day before I got the car, I took an Uber to the bank, and then I walked from the bank back to my house. And it was in a historically black part of Northeast Portland. I was walking down the street, and this old school Jeep Cherokee looking like the Job Corps one rolled up on me. And in it was 3 white dudes with shaved heads. And you know I got receipts for everything I tell you. So if I had to call Dirty, because I was on the phone with Dirty, we're in a business meeting, and then it happened, right? So I'm walking by, and there's a bunch of gentrifiers outside eating spicy hot wings or whatever they fucking serve at that restaurant, right? They're all sitting around outside with their Birkenstocks or whatever. And then this Jeep rolls up, and these 3 dudes lean up out the window, and they look like some white power dudes. So I watch them as they roll up, right? They roll up like it's a drive-by. And then they lean out the window like they're about to say some white power shit. And then you know what the fuck they yelled? They yelled Black Lives Matter at the gentrifiers. The skinhead dudes yelled Black Lives Matter at the gentrifiers that were eating factory farm animals. And I'm just stuck in the middle trying to protect my energy. Yo, it's Friday. It's sunny. I feel like this was a fun time had by all. Now we can fly a kite because it's breezy. Remember this. A rising tide lifts all boats, man. Push the collective energy as much as you push your own, and you'll find out that the collective energy multiplies faster, and then you can ride it like a kite, right? Yo, wind is fresh though. I don't even know where wind comes from. I really don't know where wind comes from. Like, where does it come from? I guess from the oceans, right? From the ocean? But then why the hell is it windy over here? I know it can't be like from the Columbia River because it's windy in Bend. Where does the wind in Bend come from? Wind in Bend. I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Before I leave, I just want to say shout out to Josh Thompson, one of the most gangster motherfuckers you can ever meet, with the heart of a lion. Shout out to Fienda, Jesse Blackwood, Sarah. Make sure you what? Trees plus oxygen equal wind. No way. I'm gonna have to Google that shit. Yo, Corey Casburn, hopefully I will talk to you at some point this weekend on some cool shit. Hey, if you wondered yesterday and today where this is the dopest shit. This is a park in Brooklyn. And like the ground is like off-centered because New York is just like landfills on landfills on landfills, right? I guess. I don't know. I'm not from New York. But this is lower level of a park, and then this is upper level. So they got like a 2-story park, right? And so I assume, since it's New York, that they throw the bodies over the fence right here, and they come smash down over here where I was. But then I walked up and around. Nobody cares about that part. I love you guys sincerely. Unless you're a robot or a lizard or a flying dinosaur. Fuck flying dinosaurs. Yo, shout out to everybody that deserves the shout out. And remember, this could be the day you stop doing that self-destructive thing you do. But if you don't, whatever. Just don't eat nobody, freaking weirdo. It's crazy how long animal life exists on this planet before humans, and humans just show up and just start eating everybody. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Have a salad, eat an orange. Peace. 5,000 G.
All day, I was gonna win. Every day, I was gonna win. All day, I was gonna win. I'm a champion, shining like a diamond. Call me Rocky, Muhammad Ali. On your box of Wheaties, Eric Cutter, Ed Magazine. Second place, Mike. What you think? You's a buster. What you think? More Memphis. No thing. More Memphis. No three things. Winning. And more winning. I stays in first.